Hey everybody, it's Dominic Murphy here from Geek Talent. I'm just going to give you a whistle-stop tour of our Insights platform, which provides labour market intelligence to companies, education institutions, and government departments. So at the top here, this is what the first screen of Insights looks like. So you can compare sectors, you can see all of the different options we have on the left here. So you can view it in a map. We've got the ability to look at different regions in detail through regional analytics and local demand, which is based on job demand as well. So I'll take you through an example. I'm just comparing the digital tech sector in the UK against the financial services sector. So if I search for that, what we're presenting with is a map of the UK, and it's a heat map. So the redder, the darker the red of an area, the more CVs and supply of people within that area working in that sector. Now, if I change the level of granularity of the map, what you'll see is we can go to what's called NUTS level 3, and you can see it's almost at a sort of a local authority level, just about. So you can see the heat map is more pronounced. So we're starting to see, obviously, London and the southeast, as you'd expect, is very populated with people who work in that sector. If I click in for Edinburgh, for example, what we can also do, and the key USP of our platform is around skills analysis. So I've got 8,629 people who work in that sector at the moment in our data, and you can see the skill sets. Now, if I just zoom into another tab, we've got something called Skill Clouds, which allows us to visualize those skills and compare them on a more larger basis. So on the left-hand side, what you can see is the top skill in the digital tech sector within Edinburgh is SQL. Now, SQL, the reason for that is because SQL is a skill that's used in lots of different jobs, whether you're a software developer, a computer programmer, or a software tester, for example, you would use SQL. And then things like Java programming languages are really popular, software development, more generally agile, Linux as an operating system. So a whole range of different skills. What we're also showing at the bottom here are any jobs in demand. And if I zoom out, rather than look at Edinburgh in particular, if I change it to just look at Scotland, what we can then do is say, actually, well, let's look at all of the skills in Scotland in the digital tech sector. So again, SQL is the top one, remains the top one. Java remains the top programming language. But actually, JavaScript comes in here. Things like IT service management become more prominent. And then when I look at the jobs, I can actually see AI developers, fintech, 550 a day, pretty good salary. If I click Java, and let's have a look at what demand we have out of 3,500 people, well, we've got a huge amount of demand for jobs in Scotland, and typically it's paying 40 to 50,000 pounds for that skill set. And on the right hand side, we've got financial services. So, what does the financial services look like? Well, it's particularly around banking and risk management, relationship management. So, a huge amount around risk, relationship management, accounting, and investments. If I compare that to another area, so let's look at the West Midlands, and I'll get probably a completely different picture of the landscape in both sectors. So yeah, so again, banking and finance, risk management is less prominent within the West Midlands. Much more about auditing, relationship management, retail banking is higher up. But again, on the left-hand side, actually in the West Midlands, the top skills now is ITIL, so it's more about IT support within the West Midlands. And again, down here, I can see, well, let's look at some ITIL jobs. What do they pay within that region? Quite a broad spectrum from 20 to 50,000. And I can become a service desk analyst, a VMware engineer with that skill set. So again, completely different picture. Let's just jump back to the map. Now, the other thing that we can do is if you're not sure of a particular skill and you may have heard of it, you're trying to debate whether is it really in demand? Does that job title exist? What we can do, we can just type a skill in here. So, for example, if I look at let's look at something like financial planning as a skill set. It'll give you that quick overview. You can see financial planning predominantly in the southeast, and look at the number of people, and then also we can look at the number of jobs with financial planning. So what does the demand look like? So rich demand, a huge amount of demand actually over the UK, and I can click into a region and actually drill into and look at the jobs that are available